All right, it sounds like we are ready. Let's get up on our feet. Go ahead and open your feet out a little bit wider, like so they're about hip distance apart. And then just kind of stick your hips out from side to side. Yeah, just kind of feel that outer hip. Kind of push a little bit side to side. I want you to feel that stretch a little bit right on that outside. Push a little extra to the right. Yep. This should feel pretty good. And then go ahead and do the other one. Stick it out a little bit to the left side. And then find your center and take a deep breath. Reach both arms up high. Let's hook our thumbs together. Stretch over to the right. Now, as you stretch to the right, send your hips out to the left. Yeah, get that whole side body to open up. Is that yummy? Yeah? Maybe you wouldn't describe it as that. I don't know. I do. I never want to assume that what feels good in me is going to feel good in everyone. Come back up to center. Switch the hook of your thumbs. Go over to the other side. As you start that side bend, stick your hips out a little to the right. Go to the place that feels really good for you. Yeah. Maybe the eyes go up toward the thumbs. And then we return to center and release the arms down by our sides. Good. Inhale, both arms reach again. Exhale, take a forward fold. Feet should be hip distance apart. We fold right in, let the head down. That's it. Stay for a moment. Feel. It's not just about listening to the cues and doing what you hear. It's actually about feeling into the movements. Bend your right knee so the left one stretches a little more intensely. Try to keep both feet flat as you do that so the movement is in the hips, not the heels. And then switch sides. Yeah, it looks like you're a little more into the feel right now. That's good. Find center where you can bend both knees. Tuck your tailbone and your chin and start to roll up slowly. Pull the belly button in, support your spine. Come all the way up. Lift the shoulders and roll them back. Welcome to your body. Inhale, let's take a deep breath, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Fold right in. Good, lift halfway. Let's lengthen the spine, look forward, and then step both feet back into plank pose. Good, give yourself a moment there to organize. When I say organize, it just means that you have a sense of where all of your body parts are. You can feel your toes on the mat behind you, your handprints strong and right underneath you. The hands might squeeze toward each other. The feet, try to spread the mat apart. It'll help you activate your legs. Now together, let's all just drop our knees right where they are. Don't have to move them forward or back. Just put them down. And then lower your chest forward and down toward your fingertips. Good, that takes muscle. Try not to have booty in the air. You gotta try to get the chest forward. Inhale for cobra. Yeah, that's a little baby back bend. So the elbows are bent. Yep, the hips stay on the ground. Squeeze the upper back a little bit. Lift up through the crown. And then exhale, release, and let that go. Let's tuck our toes and go back to downward facing dog. Push yourself up and back. And then once again, come to plank. Organize yourself. I'm going to give you another try because some of you kind of got squished up in that lowering before. So put your knees down right where they are. Lower the chest forward and down, which means you got to aim forward so booty isn't in the air. That was better. Come down slow and then inhale, cobra pose. And then exhale, downward facing dog. So that's one way to do it. Come forward into plank. Now you could put the knees down if that was feeling good and you feel like, oh, I'm just starting to get that, the integration of that, and I feel my strength. You can do that. If you want to, you can keep your knees up. Keep the legs straight. Just simply bend the elbows and lower the whole body down in one plane. That's it. Cobra on the inhale. Nice. And then press yourself up and back, downward facing dog. This is the sneaky way that the yoga teacher gets you to do push-ups, right? One more time, come forward into plank, please. Now, you can also go back to putting your knees down, lowering your whole body down to the belly, or third option would be to lower down and hover. Like literally don't put yourself down on the mat. Just lower down. It's called a lower push-up, but you got to stay there. No back bend. Stay there. Yep, that's called chaturanga. And then we lay down and do cobra. Yeah, I lost you on that one, huh? Let's give that one more try. Push yourself up and back, downward facing dog. Now I'm getting dirty looks. You have a choice. You can do whatever you want, right? So listen carefully. It's knees down and lower the chest forward. Or it's knees lifted and lower it down to the belly. Or it's knees lifted and lower and hover. Pick your choice. And then take the back bend and find your way back to down dog. Yes. So we have choices. My point is that I want you to choose the one that you can do with integrity. Don't just flip-flop through this. Our spines are too important for that. Our shoulders are too important for that. So we've got to choose wisely. We've got to try our options. We've got to see where we are today. And we got to do what really makes sense for our body so that we get the most benefit and we don't risk injury. Let's walk our feet up to the top of the mat. Feet come together this time. Inhale, lift halfway. And then exhale and fold. Bend your knees, please. Chair pose, Utkatasana we call it. So you sit down a little bit behind you. Keep some weight in the heels. See if you can straighten the arms, like you're really reaching like you mean it. That's it. But try to relax the shoulders away from your neck as you straighten the elbows. There's two things going on. Shoulder blades pulling down, triceps extending the arms up. That's it. Now push through your feet. Come all the way up. Maybe take a little stretch at the top. And then pull the hands right into heart center. Good. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on your in-breath. Let's go to plank and lower. You decide how. Do it with integrity. Do what's best for you. Inhale into the back bend of your choice. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Cobra is almost always my choice in this setting. If you know another option, you can do it. Let's take 3 breaths. Focus on the breath. Sometimes being still and breathing is more challenging than moving. You got to get quiet with yourself. Last inhale, push back a little, feel, and then look forward. Let's walk our feet to the top of the mat. Feet come together. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Flat back, we rise. Head up first, bring up the chest and the arms. Let's touch the palms together and then pull it into heart center. One more time. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen. Inhale. Go to plank and lower on the same exhalation. The air comes out as you lower down. Take a deep breath in cobra and then exhale, downward facing dog. Good. I like how you're moving today. Take one more breath and push back. And then as you exhale, right foot steps forward. Step it to the right hand. Stay on your left toes and rise into high crescent lunge. Yep. That's it. There's an integration in this pose as well. The legs kind of feel like they draw into the hips. So there's this lift of the pelvic floor, lift of the lower belly. And from all of that lifting, you can get a little longer in the spine and reach a little higher. Now go ahead and bend the back knee, but bring it forward. So you should be up on the toes of the back foot. It's a high crescent lunge. The heel is straight up behind you. And there's a good bend in all of the toes so that knee can come even more forward. And then drop down a little lower. Don't put the knee on the ground, just hover. Now tailbone is going to tuck down just a little. Ooh! Interlace your fingers together. Let's turn them inside out and push them forward in front of the chest. Now, can you lean back? Ooh, what do you feel there? I saw your faces. Yep, it's good. Just start to feel what's happening in the front of the left leg, the front of the left hip. See if you can breathe in that. Stay calm through that. And then simply raise the arms back up, straighten the back leg. Nice. Hands to the floor. Step back to plank. Take a breath. Pause. And then exhale, lower, nice and slow. Inhale, cobra pose. And then exhale, downward facing dog. All right, same thing, other side. Left foot step, stay on the right toes. The form looks good today. We're focused. Feeling, that's the idea today, feeling, right? Not just doing. The back heel is lifted kind of high. The heel almost feels like it's turning out slightly. And then the back knee bends. And as you bend it, bring it a little forward. That's it. So that means you lift up higher on the back toes. Lift that heel and bring the knee forward. Yeah. And then tailbone down. That's the special moment right there. And then as all of that is happening, can you lift out of the belly? Can you reach a little more through your fingertips? I like it. All right, lower down just a touch more. And then interlace your fingers the other way. Go the weird way. The one with the other index finger in front. Turn them inside out and bring them out in front of you. Just hold. Sometimes it's harder to hold still than it is to keep moving. That's it. Go down just a little more because you can. And then start reaching the arms back up, straighten the back leg. Hands return to the mat, smile. Step back into plank, inhale. And then exhale, lower, nice and slow. Inhale, cobra pose, heat's starting to build. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Now you'll understand why we wanted to open up the quads and the hip flexor. Right foot steps up, left foot turns flat, warrior one. That's it. That looks good. Chest plate forward. Front knee is bending. Front knee is bending, yeah. Now, feel that front footprint. I want you to drive a lot of energy down that front heel, but also feel weight on the pinky toe and the big toe. Yeah, that's it. So we got a lot going on there. Now, back foot. Can you feel weight on the lateral border, the outer edge where the pinky toe is? And as you push into the pinky toe side of your left foot, can you lift the arch of your left foot? I know that's a lot of paying attention to the feet, but everything else builds from there. If your feet are right, you can articulate your legs the way you want to. You can move your hips with a little more freedom. Let's see if we can bring the left side forward and the right side back a little bit. That's it. Now, all of that lift from the lower belly, you know how to do it. Pull in from the hips, pull in the pelvic floor, reach up through your waist, reach up through your fingers. Take one more breath, and on the exhale, put your hands back on the earth. Yep, hands down, step back and lower. Inhaling through cobra, gentle, hips on the ground. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right. Take a big inhale. Let's let out a sound, a big old sigh. Left foot steps, right foot turns flat. Rise up, warrior one. Now see what you remember. Because you felt it, you did it, it was your action, it was your micro movements and adjustments. See what you remember. Of course, I can rattle off all of the cues. But part of this process is you learning it to be in your body. Start from the ground up. Build the pose from your feet all the way through your torso and into your fingertips. It helps to look up. Energy moving up. Whatever we do going upward, we want to balance moving downward. So maybe the front knee bends a little bit. Chest plate forward, arms reach. Let's take our last breath here. And then flow. Hands down, step back, and lower. All right, inhale, cobra pose. Be gentle with the spine. And then push up and back, downward facing dog. All right, I think we got something good going on. When you're ready, let's look at our hands and walk our feet right up to the top of the mat. Lift halfway, inhale. Hold deeply, exhale. Bend your knees, chair pose. What a beautiful day we are having, right? glorious, I would say, right? Let's push into our feet, come up. Stretch up to the sun, and then bring our hands right into the heart. We're going to put it all together, what we call Surya Namaskar B. It's Sun Salutation B. It starts with chair pose. Take a deep breath, reach your arms, and sit back. On the exhale, forward fold, dive in. Then lift halfway, inhale. Go to plank and lower, just like we've been doing. Empty out the lungs, do it with integrity. Inhaling in cobra pose. And then exhale, take it back into downward facing dog. Right foot steps to the right hand, left foot flat. Show me warrior one for one breath. Reach the arms high, that's it. As you exhale, put your hands down, step back, and lower. I must have found a bad spot. Take it to down dog, and then left side steps. Right foot flat. Yes, look at you guys go, even without any cues.
Breathe deep.
Yep, this is Sun B. Hands to the ground.
Deep breath.
Test, test. Okay, I am here.
Deep breath.
We find our way to down dog and we breathe. We sigh if we need to. There's 5 breaths there in your down dog. Enjoy them. They reset the nervous system, the cardiovascular system, right? Your breath, your heart rate. Let's take one more together. Push back a little.
Keep breathing till I feel that.
And as you exhale, look forward. Walk your feet to the top of the mat. Lift halfway. Inhale. Fold. Exhale.
Keep breathing till I feel that light.
Bend your knees. Chair pose. Stay right there. Lift your heels now. Do the pose on your toes. So the heels lift. I saw a lot of toes go up. It's funny, we hear toes, so we lift toes. Yeah. I love this. This might be the first moment that you really tuned in. This pose got your attention. Now see if you can stay in your work, in those little tiny micro movements that help you balance, and come to standing, stay on your toes. Keep the heels lifted. We push down to rise up, so as the heels rise, the toes press. Pull the belly in. Lift a little higher, straighten the elbows. Now we're going to time it so we're graceful. The arms come down, and as they reach your sides, you put the heels down. Good. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on the in-breath. Soften the knees so you can touch the mat. Let's just step the right foot back. It's a low lunge. Good. Right hand stays on the mat. Please twist open to the left side. Now do a little inventory of your body. Start connecting with the feet, the legs, the hips. Is there a sense of integration? Do the legs feel like they're drawing into the hips? And then can you feel your waistline? Like actually make the movement happen from turning the right ribs under and the left chest open. Yeah, that looks so good. So good. One more breath. And then eyes go down, hand goes down. Please step back to plank. Hold. Roll onto your left hand. So side plank. The edge of your left foot, your left hand, and the right arm goes up.
This is a journey.
That's it. Now see if you can get the center of your body to rise just a little.
Into the mind.
Take your gaze up to your right thumb. Take one more breath. And then the eyes go down, the hand comes down. You return to plank and lower. Inhale, cobra pose.
Let the mind slip back.
Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay. Walk your hands back to your feet. The hands start to walk to the back of the mat. Let's bend the knees 90 degrees and reach the arms forward. I like that. Don't be afraid to sit back in that. Lower the chest so the chest hovers over your knees. Now, stay exactly where you are, but sweep the arms down and then behind you. See if you can get the elbows a little straighter. Start to feel the arms feeling fierce. Reach back through your fingertips. Now the arms come a little higher than your own body, and then clasp them together behind you. Let's take a deep breath in. On the exhale, please fold. Let the head down. Feel the stretch across the front of the shoulders. So as your head drops, try not to let the shoulders round forward. Instead, squeeze the upper back and feel the heart space open a little wider. You've got this. Balance in your feet. Knees can be soft or straight, depending on your hamstrings. Maybe we try to straighten them a little bit more. And then when you're ready, you release your fingers. Start to come up slowly. Bend the knees, tuck the tailbone, belly in. Stack the spine one vertebra at a time. That's it. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to bend the knees and sit back just like we did before. Arms reach forward. Hands pull into heart center. Please put your left elbow inside your left elbow inside your left knee and twist to the right. Had all the right words, just not in the right order. That's it. Now, I feel like the energy just went dull in your pose. So can you sit down like you mean it? Sit back and then start to broaden the chest. Let's exalt our arms. Right arm up to the sky, left arm down toward the floor. Touch down on the mat on the inside of your left foot. That's it. Arms are open, hips are low, chest is high. Let's see if we can do that. Sit back, open the chest more. Whoopsie. We're gonna straighten the right leg. Yeah, let the chest open even more. Enjoy. Head back a little, take a breath, and then soften the whole thing. Eyes down, hands down, soften your knees and recover. Good. Let's roll up one more time. Articulate the spine, take your time. Everything is done on purpose. Inhale, both arms reach. Good. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen, look forward. Walk it out to your plank pose. Here's your chance to choose again. Lower slowly, knees or not. Inhale into cobra, and then downward facing dog. Okay. Now, one step at a time, we walk our feet to the top of the mat. Just walk the feet right up there between your hands. Lift halfway. Inhale. Fold deeply. Exhale. Bend your knees for chair pose. This time we are going to lift the toes. Lift and spread all of the toes. That means heels down and lift and spread all of the toes. Yeah. Just making sure that all of it all makes sense. Brain to body part, right? They're called neuromuscular connections, right? Yeah. Lift and spread them. Sit heavy in the heels. Now sit lower. Now that the toes have lifted and spread, can you put them all down on the floor and press them into the mat? Keep pressing through that whole footprint and come all the way up for me. Maybe take a little stretch at the top and then bring your hands into the heart. Okay, we have to do that sequence on the other side. Inhale, both arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Just fold right in. Lift halfway. Now soften your knees so you can touch the ground, and the left foot's going to take that big step back. Step all the way to the back of the mat, stay on your toes, and then the left hand roots down as you twist open to the right side. This is a moment where you can really check into your form. There's something that feels very integrated about this work. We're working from the core, right? Our feet ground, our hips squeeze in so we can access the twist in the waistline, so we can actually turn the rib cage. The tightest part of your spine is the thoracic curve. We have a lot more mobility in the neck and in the lower back, so let's see if we can move into the mid back a little bit here. I love it. Take one more breath. And then eyes go down, hand goes down. Let's step into plank, but hold. This time, we twist onto our right side, right hand down, left arm up, Vashisthasana, the side plank. Oh, I love it. Lots of variations here. You can be one foot in front of the other, one on top of the other. Let's lift our hips, head back a little. Take a breath, and then eyes down, hands down. Go ahead and lower. Inhale, cobra pose. Nice work. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, just take a moment, tune in, handprints, footprints, breath, and then the hands walk back to the feet. Knees are gonna bend. We're gonna sit back kind of deep. Reach the arms forward. Just like we did before, I want you to feel those hips pull back as the hands reach. So there's this stretching, pulling happening, lengthening in the side waist. And then the hands go back behind you. Eyes stay forward. Keep looking at the front edge of your mat so your collarbones widen and your chest opens. Let's lift the arms a little higher and clasp with the other index finger in front. Switch. And then dive in. Go ahead and fold. Nicely done. Let the head down. Be nice to the back of your neck. Imagine releasing all of the wrinkles in the back of the neck. Soften the jaw and the eyes. Keep the heart space open. All right. Slowly untangle your fingers, soften your knees, and really slow this time. Come on up. Bend your knees, tuck your tailbone, the belly button pulls in, the head comes up last. We're like stacking the spine. We're using our muscles to integrate the body and to realign and organize the bones. Good. Take a deep breath. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Look up a little, take a breath, then bend your knees again. Arms reach forward. Sitting back, reaching forward, and then the palms pull right into the heart center, and we twist to the other side. Right elbow inside right knee. Let's see if we can get the foundation built. Equal weight in both feet, hips back. So don't be afraid to stick your hips back and lengthen your spine. There you go. That's it. Push the elbow into the knee into the elbow. Now exalt your arms. Make space. And as we start to feel our way into this, we have the option to lengthen and straighten the left leg. It might make it feel better. It might feel like too much. You decide. Every single thing I offer is optional. Something for you to try or not. And both things are a choice. Choosing to do something or choosing not to is still making a choice, and that's empowering. Eyes come down, hands come down. Let's soften both knees. Last time we roll up. Just finishing up that work for the spine. Good. Inhale, both arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen. Let's look forward and then walk it out to plank. Hold in plank for just a moment. Take a chance to organize yourself. Hands under shoulders, a bend in the toes. Knees stay lifted or not as you lower. Exhale all of your air. And then inhale into cobra. Exhale, back down dog. Back to down dog. All right. So the right foot's going to step up. We're going to stay on the left toes, coming to high crescent lunge, just for one breath. And then please turn open to the left side for warrior two. Opportunity to change the direction of the hips, but still work on building from the bottom up. Check in with your footprints. Literally, what are your feet doing? Make sure that front foot is turned straight and give yourself lots of space. The stance can be really long. Like, I'm a little person, and look how much room I can put between my legs, right? Your feet grip the floor, and you can open. You have more flexibility in the hips if your stance is a little bit longer, right? That's it. So we ground the feet. Can you try, this is going to sound weird, and I'm not even sure if it'll translate, but could you imagine dragging your right foot back a little closer to you so your hamstring activates? Can you feel that? Yeah, so do that. Do that, and then reverse your warrior. So stay committed to the bend in that front leg, and then really open up into your side waist. Oh, I love what I see. Lots of different variations for the arms. You can simply take the left arm down the leg and the right arm up to the sky, or you can play. You may be inspired by something you see in your neighbor, or you may just stay focused on your own work. Just breathe. Gaze goes up. And then just for fun, turn your gaze to your left ankle. As you look down, can you continue to reach high? Let's all bend that right knee a little deeper. Yes. Return to warrior two. Straighten the front leg and say it. Yeah, there it is. A little bit of expression. Tip it over to the right. Triangle pose. Trikonasana. Both legs are straight. Think back to the simplicity of how we worked on lowering from plank today. Just simple. Deciding what worked for you. Deciding how you were going to develop your strength and flexibility. How you were going to keep your peace of mind and the equanimity of your breath. Right? The same goes here. As the poses become more complex, we have to have the same attitude. Let's see if we can draw the tailbone down so the head, neck, and shoulders can move back. So we want to think about being on one plane here. So hips forward. Yeah, body back, but arm stays right in line. That's it. Now if you have a special fun variation here with your arms, play for just a moment. If you like it just the way it is, you stay. And we just hold. And we breathe. We root down. And then we prepare to rise. Come back up. Warrior two pose. Let's bend that front knee. And again, imagine dragging the foot back so you activate that hamstring. And then take your right forearm onto your right thigh. Keep the left arm straight up to the sky. Now on this left arm, I want you to take it and wrap it around behind your back. Just wrap it in. Maybe the back of your hand presses into the small of your back. If you have a little waist and long arms, you might actually wrap your fingers around into the crease of your hip. Now draw the tailbone down and broaden your chest. Feel that left arm doing work to open wider. That's it. Now, I know you're leaning on your right elbow. Can you take the weight off the right elbow and reach in front of your own chest, not under your ear? So there's a twist there. As you reach long with that right arm, pull back the left shoulder. You got it. Don't hold your breath. I got your number. Breathe a little bigger. Lean back. And then softly put the right elbow down. Reach the left arm back up. Rise back up to warrior two. Put a smile on your face. Take a really big inhale. And as you exhale, plant both hands onto the mat. Step back to plank, breathe in, and then lower as you breathe out. Integrate the breath and the movement. That's what we do in yoga. Cobra as you inhale. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Yoga is a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's something we need to do over a long period of time on a regular basis with a good attitude. That is what the teachings tell us. All right, left foot steps up. Stay on your right toes. Each movement matters. It deserves your attention. Rise up with integrity and balance. And then turn open to the right, plant the back foot. Find your right spacing. Your moment, your truth, your body. Check in with your feet. Make sure that front foot is pointing straight to the front edge of the mat. Yeah, we want to feel all of our toes. We know what it feels like to integrate the footwork, the heels, the toes, the arches. Put some of your awareness there and let the pose build from there. The left heel is going to try to drag back so you feel that hamstring activate, and then reverse the warrior. Right arm down, left arm up. Keep it in the side body. It's tempting to do a back bend here, but I want you to keep your chest out to the right. I see lots of beautiful variations here. Let's all look up at the left hand. And as all of that upward energy is moving toward that hand, let's bend the front knee a little more. Remember that hamstring work. Squeeze squeeze it a little. There's nothing better for building flexibility than charging the muscle, giving it a little extra heat, right? Use it. Now, turn the gaze to your right ankle. Keep reaching up. This is your full expression right here. One more breath. And then return to warrior two. Straighten your legs. Smile. Sigh, sound, whatever it takes. And then prepare for triangle. All the lines of the triangles are straight. The arms are straight. The legs are straight. The spine is straight. So if you're doing something in your body that feels like it's bending, if there's a hinge at the hips and your head is moving forward, do your best to open up and move back. The stronger the grip of the feet, the better you feel in your foundation, the more freedom you're going to have to open up. We don't want to grip our toes because that will tighten the groins. So lift and spread the toes. Feel them work into the mat. I like what I see here. Just think about alignment. Tailbone draws down, head draws back a little bit. If you have a special variation, I'll give you a moment to try that, to play. You might want to just stay. Sometimes just staying where you are is the hardest work. You know there's other things to do, but you just stay the course and breathe. Nice, Maria. And then let's release our arms. Let's come back up. Bend into that front knee. Reestablish your warrior two. See if you can reestablish that hamstring work. Pull the heel toward you. And then left forearm, left thigh lightly. Right arm to the sky. You got it. We're going to wrap that right arm behind the back. Do whatever you can with it so that it feels active and it's helping you open the right chest. So sometimes I just press my forearm and my hand into my back so I can get the shoulder blade to move back. And we can feel the collarbones open wider. Head back a little feels nice too. And then I know you're leaning on the left elbow. Let's see if we can take the weight off the left elbow and reach straight out in front of your own chest, not under your ear. So the right arm is wrapped, the left arm is reaching. It's creating a really deep twist and beautiful core work here. Support your spine. Keep feeling that tailbone down and head back so you're in a straighter line, making more space. Yep, take one more breath because I don't think you're breathing. And then lightly put the forearm back, reach your arm up, and return to your warrior two. Yes, when you're ready, breathe in. Plant your hands on the ground on the exhale. Good. Step into plank. Inhale. Slow it down. Lower slowly now. Exhaling to the ground. Inhale. Cobra pose. Exhale. Downward facing dog. All right. We're going to walk our hands back to our feet. Like it. Lift halfway. Inhale, come to a flat back. Exhale and fold. And then rise with the flat back all the way up to standing. Let's reach our arms to the sky and then exhale, hands onto the hips. Okay. Stand still for just a moment. Trust your right leg on the ground and lift your left knee to your chest. Got it. Now, can you draw the tailbone down and the belly in? And in slow motion, try to push that left knee open to the side. Feel the work in that muscle on the outer hip. Give it a little squeeze on the outside of that left hip. Do you guys feel that? Is there a little burn there? Just a little. Yeah. Keep your head up. Nice. Now bring the knee back in front of you and cross the left ankle onto the right knee. Kind of a figure four there. And then like we did earlier, sit back, reach forward. So we squeeze the muscle, then we stretch the muscle. Feel it? Yeah, doesn't take much. Let's put a little flexion on the left ankle. Flex the left foot. Sit back a little deeper, a little more. Let the chest come low. Now you can choose to stay where you are. It's ankle on knee. Yeah, oh, it's okay. The knees don't let you. You could put your fingertips to the floor. It's an option. There is an arm balance here. I'm not going to teach it. If you know it, you do it. If not, just touch the ground and sit a little deeper. Yeah, the arm balance would mean that shin, that left shin that's across, goes on both arms, and then you float your right leg behind you. Keep looking forward if you're going to try that. Yep. You got it. And then make sure that right foot goes back on the mat. Start to walk your hands in, lighten the load on the fingertips. Reach both arms forward. If you're still there in that sit back feeling, then we start to come up all together and plant both feet back on the ground. Good. Let the arms go. I can feel it. You have something to say about that, right? You have some feelings about that, right? Well, the good news is we get a do-over, and maybe the other side is your better side, right? What you get on the second side is you get to bring a little experience and a little bit of wisdom, right? You've tried, you know what worked, what didn't. You know if staying too long in one position didn't feel good and you started to get frustrated, you know that you can avoid that this time, right? You can actually come up a little. So be smart. Let's try the other side. Trust your left leg on the ground. Lift your right knee. Everything here has holes under my feet. I need something solid. There's like these big craters under my feet. All right, hands are on the hips. And in slow motion, we're going to start moving that right knee open. Imagine you're moving against resistance. Lift your toes away from the floor. See if you can get that feeling of a little squeeze on the outer right hip. Hold your head up. Tailbone goes down, head moves back a little bit. That makes a difference. You get that little burn going on. And then we're going to bring it forward, cross the ankle on the left knee. Like a figure four, we try to open the knee a little bit, and then we sit back into it. I can still feel my left side. Yeah. That's it. The residue of what we do lasts. Yep. Pull the right toes up toward the knee a little. Keep that foot active. I like it. You can choose any part of this. You can keep reaching forward and sitting back. You can put your hands on the ground. You can do an arm balance. You could come back up to standing and just work on that hip opening. There's so many variations. Just doing this is enough, right? So when you come out, maybe there is some part that you can continue to do work, right? Maybe it's just this, and it's not the folding over. We learn by observation, we learn by doing, and we learn by paying attention as we do so we get the feels. Yep, I'll give you one more breath or two here. And then start to come out the same way you came in. So if you were in the arm balance, you got to walk your hands in and then lift them, reach forward and back, and then start to stand slowly. Let's release our arms and our feet and take a flow. Inhale, both arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Lift and lengthen. Let's walk it out into plank. Take a deep breath in plank and then exhale for that whole time we lower down. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot's gonna step up. Let's put the left knee down on the mat and come into pigeon pose. Right foot moves across to the left side. And then the shin drops across the mat and we slide the left leg back a little bit to drop into the hips. If for some reason your hip or your knee or your ankle on that right side are saying no, hell no, do this on your back. Cross the right ankle on the left knee, lay on your back and do it. It's not worth blowing out a joint to just follow the crowd and do the pose, right? Do what's good for you. Always. Not just in yoga. That's it. Lay your head down. Soften in. One breath at a time. What happens when the movement stops? We learn a lot from the movement. We learn a lot from how we navigate and integrate and organize. But what happens when everything gets still? I've said it a few times. I think that being still and holding the pose could be harder than the moving. So that I can see your face. Take a moment. See if you can start to use your breath as a tool to quiet your mind. The subtle lessons of the mat, the skills of the mat. We're going to take 3 more breaths. Be in them completely. Just feel the inhalation come into the body. Feel the release of that exhalation. May we open up these. And we'll slowly start to walk our hands in. The hands come in under the shoulders. We're going to tuck the left toes and really slowly and gently float the right leg up into the air for a 3-leg down dog. Try not to kick and flail it around. Just hold it up in the air and let the tension drain out of the front of the hip. Let the foot relax in the air. And then start pointing the toes and making your leg as straight as possible. Get it to feel really straight and reach long through the toes, and then open up the right hip, stack it on top of the left one. Keep the legs straight and pointing, and then just keep pulling that right leg behind you. Push into the right hand as you reach back with the right toes. How's that? Yeah, sink into that left heel a bit. Ground yourself. And then gently place that right foot back on the mat. You're welcome. Paddle your feet for a moment so they start to feel like yours again. And then when you're ready, we'll simply step the left foot forward and put the right knee down. Find your way into pigeon on the other side. One of the important things about putting that left knee down is that it doesn't end up in the center of your mat. We don't want to sit to the left. We want to keep the knee to the left. So keep your knee to the side. Yeah, you stay in the middle. And again, if on this side you're getting a hell no from your body, do it on your back. You'll still be able to do the hip opening, but your body weight won't be putting pressure on the knee joint. You actually are able to keep the shape of the pose, but you determine how much pressure by how much you want to hug it into you. They're both good. Neither one is bad or wrong. And in your case, it probably means it's better. Breath steady. Breath keeping you in the moment. Be witness to what happens within when the movement stops. Take your last 3 breaths. Everything we do is a choice. Everything we don't do is also a choice. Let's let's start walking our hands in. Let's tuck our right toes and start to float the left leg all the way up and back. Just let it be in the air. Let the front of the hip release the congestion. Let the circulation flow. Start to straighten your leg and point your toes like there was something long back there behind you that you wanted to reach for. And then keep that leg straight and the toes pointing, but start stacking the right hip on top of the left so that they open up to the left side. And then just keep pulling your toes back behind you. Open the hip. You could even look underneath your left arm. It might help with the angle. Press through the hands, maybe even sink the right heel so you feel stable and grounded and more able to reach and open that hip flexor. Try it with a straight leg. It's amazing what happens back there, right? Yeah. Look underneath the left arm. Look that way. Left arm. Yeah. You feel a little more open. The gaze matters. And then take your time. Plant your feet back on the floor. Paddle your feet just a little bit. And then you have the choice to take one last flow or just come to seated. You know you have a choice to make. And there's something empowering. When you leave the mat, it shouldn't feel defeated by the choices you make. You should feel empowered by the choices you make. There is not one pose that is better than another. There isn't one that's right or wrong or bad or good. They're all just a different manipulation of the body so we can get to know where we hold tension, where we can start to build up our tools to release that tension and re-regulate our systems. They're just shapes. They're not levels. And honestly, the most advanced yogis, the most flexible, that can put their feet behind their heads, they have to be able to do the foundational work. If we don't build the foundation, we get injured, and then we can't explore new things. Just be. Be whole with the choices that you make. Be aware of the consequences of your choices. We navigate this practice and this life one breath at a time. Just in case you were holding on to a judgment about that arm balance, I know a lot of people that can do that arm balance, and they know nothing about yoga. They think they're doing yoga. They take pictures on Instagram, and we think that they are great yogis. But it's how you know your heart, how willing you are to be in deep connection with yourself, to learn compassion and connection and community, to be calm in a stressful situation. These are the values and the characters of the yogi. It has nothing to do with balancing on your hands and floating your legs in the air. And only if you can do that calmly and without a judgment does it make it yoga. When you're ready, lay down onto your back. Let's put the soles of our feet together and drop our knees open. Take the arms up overhead so the hips and the shoulders feel open and the spine feels free, and you just breathe. if there was a judgment that was living inside you, this would be your chance to let it go. And I think that would be a good choice. Let's take the arms out like a T and pull the knees up near the belly. And then rock both legs over to the right side, just wringing out anything that might be in the lower back or hips. That's it. Let the legs go all the way onto the ground. Even if it means that your shoulder picks up a little bit, there's a dance between how far the knees go and how much the shoulder can stay grounded. Breathe a little deeper into the left side. And then bring those legs up and over to the other side, just kind of wringing it out the other direction. Just softening the effort.
Drifting and slow when the sun shines, light in your eyes.
Take one more breath here. And then the knees come to center. Grab onto them with your hands and squeeze them into your body. Your knees can be together or apart depending on how that feels with your breathing. Sometimes widening the knees just feels a little better. And then release your hands, release your feet, and go ahead and just lay yourself out for a few moments of stillness. And again, we come into that moment where just laying still could be more challenging than listening to the cues and doing all the moves. Yoga is meant to help us quiet the mind. Chitta vritti nirodha, the cessation of the fluctuations of the mind. Let everything settle into the stillness. The movement slow into stillness. The breath quiets. The mind follows the breath and the body.
As we're coming home, as we're coming home, coming home, coming home. I'm going home, and you're coming home, and I'm going home with you. You're coming home with me. I'm going home with you. You're coming home with me. As we're coming home, as we're coming home, as we're coming home, as we're coming home.
Let's slowly start to bring the breath back. The breath, then the movement, maybe the thoughts. We start our awakening, and eventually we all come and sit together.
And I'll walk you home, and you'll walk me home, and I'll throw you home, and I'll throw you home, and I'll stay home.
So how do you feel? We're getting woos. We're getting woo. I'm getting smiles. Lift your own heart space a little. Feel your feet on the ground. Even though you're sitting in cross legs, you can still ground down. Push the feet down a little. Watch how you rise up. I always think that's a good reminder at the end of the practice, because we were doing it in our standing work, but then when we sit down, some of that disappears. That press and rebound thing happens, right? And so just right now, if you do it, push down into your feet. See if that helps you sit up a little taller. Yeah, right? The spine grows, our energy channels open. What a better way to go through the day. So I promise you, it's not going to take long before you walk out of this park where you find yourself like this again. And if you catch yourself like this and you push down, even just as you're walking around, you will rise up. Keep your yoga with you. Start to use the tools that you use on the mat. If they were useful in your poses, I promise they will be useful in your life. Let's bring our hands together and close the practice together with the beautiful sound of Om. It will amplify the feeling that we have in the park, all those smiles and those whoops, like all of that. We can just amplify it and spread it a little bit. So take a deep breath in. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Peace, Peace, perfect peace. Loka Samasta Sukino Bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free. May the actions of my life and all of our lives somehow contribute to that happiness and that freedom. May we all be part of a better world. May we be part of a transformation that is happening to move us to the side of good, right? May we all know peace. May we use our yoga well. May it help our lives be a little bit easier and a little more graceful, so our interactions with others will be the same. Namaste. Happy Saturday, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for showing up always, for being such a beautiful and vibrant community. I am so proud of the South Florida yoga community. Could use your help. If anyone could lend a hand to put the chairs and tables back on the platform, that would be really wonderful. I have the sign-in sheets here. If you haven't signed in on the waiver forms for the city, please come sign before you leave. And also, if you would like to be on my email list, we have a lot of really good things coming up through the end of the month at the studio. This coming Friday night, we're having a Shop Small social. It's free admission. We're going to have lots of local vendors, artists, jewelry makers, essential oils, all kinds of things, all people from our community, small business, young entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs, supporting the small guys. So if you're thinking about Mother's Day gifts, there's going to be artists showing their work. So come, it's from 6 to 8 Friday night, just a Shop Small social. So if you are free Friday, come by, just kind of schmooze through, walk through. Then on Saturday, we're hosting a kirtan and sound healing in the afternoon. There'll be a little bit of sound healing with the bowls and all different kinds of instruments, and then a little bit of chanting. And Sunday, a lecture on eating the rainbow. So if you're interested in getting nutritional information and you would like to learn a little bit more about the nutrients in the different colored food groups and why it's important to introduce different colors into your diet, come and listen. It's from 12 to 1 on Sunday the 1st. Eating the rainbow. I think that's going to be a really good one. So every other month, I'll be hosting a nutrition talk at the studio to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves from every aspect. Moving, breathing, eating, sleeping, lots of elements to our health and well-being. And one last chance, Isabel Wynand. Is there an Isabel Wynand in the house? Isabel Wynand. Okay. If you're just shy, it's like, have your credit card. Thank you. They're Ray-Bans. They are my rosy colored glasses.
Looking for ones that I like
Yeah.
colored
Thank you so much. I have passes for the studio too if anyone's interested in coming. If you haven't seen my new studio and you would like to come take a class, be my guest. I have passes for you to come try it. Thank you, my love. There's the sign-in sheets. This one is for the emails. Oh, I should get the other pen. This is for emails, but it's actually just people put their names. Thank you so much. You too. We lost a pen. Yep. I might have to take my earring off. This is a big one.